Hello, it's time for another episode of It's Not About You. My name's Bob Benson. I pastor Christ Lutheran Church. We've been talking about ways that really even our Christian life is not about us. Our Christian life, even our salvation, is about God bringing glory to himself through the things that we say and do through our testimony, through how God works in our lives, and us being willing to do the hard things that God's asked us to do. A definition of selflessness sometimes can be very tricky. In fact, there are many people out there today who would argue that true selflessness does not exist. Because even when you're doing something for somebody else without an expectation of reward, you are still gaining something. You gain this warm, fuzzy feeling inside that you're helping someone else out. And that's why they would say that selflessness does not exist today, because you do gain that thing. And I think that permeates the American church today. We say that we have to be involved in this or that so that we get this warm, fuzzy feeling that we're doing something. I don't think that's what Jesus was talking about when he tells us to be selfless, to completely give up on our own interests and be more concentrated on the interests of others. To act with selflessness is to forsake oneself for the benefit of someone else. It's not about that warm, fuzzy feeling. People often say that most parents are a good example of selflessness because they pour into their kids. They don't always put their interests in front of their child's. They usually put their child's interests in front of themselves. And I would say that you can be selfless without being a parent, especially as a Christian. You can put others' needs ahead of your own. And that's what we're called to do. We've got to do it without any expectation of any obvious reward. Now, of course, many people who aren't parents live selflessly. We have to have this live less with a self-centered mindset. Selflessness can be learned and incorporated into our daily lives. And that's what we're called to do as Christians. We're called to incorporate it into our daily lives. We need to learn some of the benefits of the selfless behavior and how we can live more selflessly every day of our lives. And that's what we need to do. We need to strive to be selfless, to be like Jesus, to take up our cross daily and follow him. And take up our cross, that doesn't sound like much fun, but it is what we're called to do. I would tell you to go out this week and live a completely selfless life, thinking about the interests of others more highly than of yourself. So It's Not About You, my name is Pastor Bob Benson. Thank you for taking the time to watch.